Hey guys, what's going on? Jay here, bringing you a review of a product that's pretty unique in that it is a computer chassis brought to you by a graphics card manufacturer. That's right, the folks over at EVGA are giving a shot at making a Mini-ITX chassis here that they think is pretty unique and pretty cool. And we're gonna go ahead and see if that's true or not. And we're gonna go ahead and give it the old Jay's 2 cents. I just made that up, actually. I've never said that before. I might say it again, I'm not sure, but I just made that up. Okay, I didn't want to waste any time taking the damn thing out of the box because, quite honestly, it's a pretty boring box. It's just a brown box. It says EVGA Hadron on there. That's right, this is the EVGA Hadron Air. They have come out with the Hadron Hydro, which is a little bit bigger to allow for a little bit of water cooling in there, but we are taking a look at the Hadron Air. Not to be confused with the Hard-On Air, which seems to be the most common joke people come up with when it comes to this chassis. Now, if you can't tell right off the bat, this thing is really freaking small. I mean, quite honestly, when I took it out, I thought it was gonna be a lot bigger than it was. It's not what she said entirely. Okay, before we talk about the case, let's just talk about some of the accessories that come with it because, you know, all cases come with accessories. You've got a sled here, which looks like it is for, not entirely sure, to be honest with you. It looks like it could be a 2.5-inch drive or something. Pretty nifty looking manual here. Most of it's in another language anyway. You've got some more short SATA cables, which is good for a small case like this. You've got your power cable. You've got a Hadron Air sticker, some screws, and you've got a pretty cool looking case badge. Well, I might stick this on my other build. And then you've got some cable twisty thingies to keep your cables in place. Anyway, it's enough about that stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about the things that really do matter about this case, and that's the fact that the style in this case is really awesome. I like the style. Now, it's got a piano finish on the front, a single button right there. I mean, there's nothing cluttering up the front. You've got EVGA emblem right on there. Now, the bad thing about the piano finish, and mine's a perfect example, I'll have to clean this up, is it just attracts dust really bad. Now, why is there already a dust on it? Well, I've already done this video twice. This is the third time because I'm having a really hard time with not making sure the audio is working, not making sure the camera is actually recording. You would think I just started doing this. Anyway, yeah, you would think I've never done this before, huh? On the side here, you've got a pretty nice looking window. It's very cloudy looking because I did leave the film on that. In fact, we'll go ahead and take the film off. Now the side panel is held on by 3 thumb screws, pretty basic, nothing too interesting there. But the side panel, when you take it off, there is a film in here, keeping everything nice and pretty. All right, there we go. So now we got a nice clean window. It is not smoked or tinted or anything like that. It is just plain clear, as you can see right there. Now when you open it up, you can see you have a jumble of wires. As I mentioned, it's already been opened. I apologize, guys. This is not a virgin unboxing. It's been looked at and played with and fondled. So, but what's cool about this is it's kind of a chassis, but also kind of sort of the right direction towards a bare bones kit because it has a built-in slim, low-profile 500-watt gold-rated power supply. Kudos on that, guys. Wish it was a little bit bigger, but I guess 500 watts is more than enough power if you were running something like a Titan Black Edition or a 780 Ti or something, or even a 290X, which is pretty power consumptiveness. And it sits down here right on the bottom of the case, not taking up too much room, which is pretty awesome because that allows them to keep a nice small profile. Now moving on to the hard drive portion here, you do have a sled, you just pinch that and you can slide those out. And it also does have a portion in there where you can mount an optical slim slot load drive, which is not, I mean, nobody's really using slot load or even any optical drive anymore. So it's, what's cool about that is they put the slot over here on the side where it's kind of out of the way. So if you're not using it, it's not taking up any space on the front. Now the power supply cables, we'll move back to the power supply. The runs of the cable are perfect and proprietary to this case. They pretty much are already cut to the right length that makes perfect sense for installing inside of this case. So you don't have to deal with the standard ATX power supply with a huge amount of cables that's designed for an ATX or a full tower, trying to cram it in a small form factor like this. The runs already are there and makes sense. You do have USB 3.0 cable, you have a front HD audio, and then you have your front panel LED and power switch right there. Cool. So when it comes to the top of the case, in fact, you have to use a screwdriver to get this off, and I'm an idiot, and I didn't grab a screwdriver. If only I'd had a screwdriver on hand. Aha! Look at that, there you go. Okay, guys. So the top is held on by two Phillips head screwdrivers, and they're really small and you don't want to lose them. In fact, there's no real reason to ever have to take the top off this thing unless you're trying to change out the fans. I don't know how good the fans are. I've not really tried it yet. But I do really appreciate the style of the top grill, because as you can see here, it is on there really tight. Now on the top, you can see you've got two 120 millimeter fans making pretty much the entire top of the case an exhaust. Kudos on that. Airflow should be good. Now on the back of the case here, you've got this really interesting looking panel on there. I don't know what actually mounts up to that. I'm assuming it might be their pump that mounts up to that for their Hydro series, because I know that that's where the tubes come in right there. And then on this side of the case, you have another solid black panel with perforation for airflow. USB 3.0, two of them over here, as well as your headphones and microphone jacks. And then that brings us back around to the front of the case. Now, oh, and then when it comes to PCI expansion, PCI Express, you do have a room for a dual slot card, as well as room for a long card. I mean, you could fit a Titan in here without any problems. Now, this isn't all peaches and cream. I don't know why I just said peaches and cream. I've never said that in a review before. But now I'm just going to say it's not all peaches and cream. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this is EVGA's first attempt at making a chassis. And because of that, there are some things about this that don't quite sit well with me, and I'm going to go ahead and name those. The first one being you have this amazing satin anodizing or powder coating on here. It's not anodized, it's powder coated. It is steel. It's an amazing quality finish. I mean, you've got Hadron Air etched into there. It looks gorgeous. When you flip it over, you can see it's not complete. It's bare metal on the inside. Okay, fine. You don't really see that. It doesn't matter too much. Maybe it's not that big of a gripe. But if we move to the inside of the case here, I'm sure you guys have already noticed. There's no powder coating here. There's no powder coating there. None on the top. And you can see through the inside of the case where the back panel is also not powder coated on the inside. So you can see the bare steel through the back, which doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why they did that. Okay, fine. So I can get past that. But what I honestly feel is kind of a cardinal sin when you take something as beautiful as this chassis, because I'm just going to say I love the design of this chassis. The aesthetics of this are gorgeous. And I would build out my ITX system in this chassis tonight if it wasn't for one thing. I'm stuck using this power supply and these ugly cables that came with it. Quite honestly, guys, it feels to me like they ran out of time. And what I mean by that is you've got this black, jet black chassis, piano finish front, very elegant. With a window, mind you. Remember, guys, it does have a window right here. So it's intended for you to see the inside of this case. So then why on earth do we have a blue USB 3.0, a 1996 looking tan HD audio cable, a green, white, and black power switch and LED cable, and then thin sleeving over mesh sleeving over the top of every color of the rainbow inside of these power cables? If they had just gone with black cables, then this wouldn't have been a big deal. Or if they had just gone with high density sleeving, it wouldn't have been a big deal. I've never seen a case with a blue USB 3.0 since 3.0 has become more of the mainstream. I saw them in the beginning when 3.0 first launched to kind of grab your attention, like, hey guys, this is 3.0. I don't get it. What's up with that? But the tan HD audio cable is like blasphemy as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. This has been the EVGA Hadron Air reviewed by JayzTwoCents. And as always, I hope to see you guys in my next video, or maybe even go and check out the website, www.JayzTwoCents.com. Register today.